Hey everyone, happy November. Welcome to my channel, Books, Gurrs, and Purrs. My name is Leslie, and today we're going to be discussing, three other books that I've read for the month of November that are part of the Skoden Readathon. I'm trying to break it up because I think it's a little too much to cover. And the three books I'm going to discuss are audiobooks that I listened to. The first one is Medicine River by Thomas King. And this fulfills the prompt of Beyond the 48. So reading from an author that's not from the United States. Medicine River is about Will, who grew up in Alberta not on a reservation, but adjacent to a reservation. I think it's called, let me look because I don't want to forget and say it wrong. Blackfoot Reserve. And so he grew up over there, but, at some point he left his town. I think he goes off to Toronto, comes back for his mother's funeral. One of the people that Will gets reacquainted with in his life is Harlan Big Bear, and he's my favorite character. He's the town's busybody, Budinsky, the guy that just gets in everyone's business and meddles, basically. And Harlan convinces the main character, Will, to stay in town. And so you're really just getting a peek into a small town life and where every character is in their life. So you're just, not to sound repetitive, but you're getting a slice of small town life. And I really love this book. It was a very quick read. What I enjoyed most is Thomas King's signature wit. If you've ever read his book in what is called An Inconvenient Indian, that book is great. It's like a historical, not just nonfiction, but meshed with memoir. And it's really good because Thomas King is just so witty. And once again, he uses that signature wit with his characters. And there's this back and forth of banter that they carry together that really had me cracking up. It had me thinking about other people in my life that are just as quick-witted. And also, I know this it really isn't far-fetched. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Gilmore Girls, the way that show is written, where it's just like real quick-paced. Everybody's talking and always has something to say to each other. This back and forth banter, that's what I kind of can think of as a good example to compare it to. Because this was audiobook, I'm not really able to do what I usually do, which is to pick a quote that really exhibits what the author is saying or what they're doing in the book. And I enjoyed this book so much. I would love if it had been turned into an adaptation of a mini series or a television series. I did find out that this was made into a movie, but I haven't been able to find a digital stream copy that I could watch because I'd love to watch it. It was just really just sweet and entertaining, while also, yes, juggling heavy subjects as they happen in life, but the tone is so light and just humorous, and I just really enjoyed it. So if you can, listen to the audiobook. The person that reads the audiobook, oh gosh, I don't think I wrote down their name this time, but I do have it on my Instagram. They did a great job with carrying the characters and their banter really beautifully. So yeah, definitely pick up a copy of Medicine River. The next book that I read and listened to the audio through Libby was Fry Bread, a Native American family story by Noble Maillard, I believe is how you say their name. When I initially picked it up, because I'm, looking through the digital library, I thought it was just going to be a cute picture book about fry bread, yes, the history, but I found like it was so much more and more lengthier than I thought it would be, and that really is a compliment to the material. It is talking about fry bread and the history, and it's kind of like, how do I say it? It delves deeper into like the diversity of indigenous people and a history that although it's founded in at its core about fry bread, but then it expands. And so I think it's a really great breakdown of information for children, but I also think adults, I really enjoyed it. It really blew me away. And so also at the end, there's a recipe, and I'm all about food. So that's another really great read that I think is just for all ages. It's really not just for children. It's really, really adorable and sweet while being incredibly informative. The next book I read, I listened to the audio book through, I believe it was through Libby, is Murder on the Red River by Marcy Rendon. This fulfills a prompt for thriller horror. Kim from Native Lady Book Warrior called this one Stephen Graham Jones Rendon Whedon. So the author is Marcy Rendon. So I coincidentally read one of the people that she named the segment after. And I really love this book. But if you do pick it up and think you're going to read a hard-boiled crime thriller, it's not quite that. There's so much more that's going on. It's more about the consequences of this situation happening. I'm going to go ahead and read the summary because I don't think I'm going to do that good of a job and then talk about what I liked about it. So the summary, I googled it. It says, set in 1970s along Red River Valley, Marcy R. Rendon's gripping new mystery follows the life of a young Ojibwe woman as she struggles to come to terms with the callous murder of a Native American stranger, bringing to life the gritty, dark reality of a flawed foster care system and the oppression of Indigenous people, which I think that was put best, because I do feel like because this took place in the 1970s, this is another book that I read that is also not explicitly, but just through the writing of the characters and what they go through, is expressing why ICWA is so important, why it's a necessity. For instance, the main character, Cash, is a young woman, but she's had to grow up incredibly fast, and she is a strong character and we root for her throughout the book, but at times it's like, as a reader, you almost forget how old she is until there are moments that the author sprinkles in that reminds you how young she is. And I feel like that was so smartly and intentionally done, because it really makes me as a reader have to reflect on that this person had to grow up so fast and that she has to be strong. She doesn't really have any other choices. She's not really presented with good choices. And so that really makes me as a reader reflect on, gosh, who would she be if she didn't have to go through everything that she's gone through. And in this story, there are spiritual elements that are included, but what I appreciated is that the author used those elements sparingly. And I feel like I appreciate when authors do this, because whenever those kind of elements are, I want to say, overused at times, it kind of takes away the impact that is meant with those. So I felt like this is another example of an author being just, I want to say intentional, but just has such a strong point of view with what she's trying to do with her material, and that really comes through. I really love this book. Again, my only critique is just that if you go into this thinking that you're going to read some hard-boiled crime story, that's not what this is. But I really appreciated it for what it is, and I just kind of wish that maybe if this book had a slightly different title that didn't make me kind of go into that headspace thinking that it would be. But I don't really have any suggestions for how that would change, but I really did enjoy it, and I know that this is a series now, so I'm definitely going to want to read the rest of the books in the series. All right, that is all I have for this segment. Please like, subscribe, comment below. Let me know what you think about any of these books, and I will see you later.